It's in the game.
PC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today it's live opening round coverage of the Arizona Summer Classic. Set in the Sonoran Desert and surrounded by the majestic McDowell Mountains, we're at the stadium course at TPC Scottsdale in Arizona. Hello again and welcome. Rich Loader alongside Frank Nobilo, set to bring you all the action for today's event. Frank, when you think about the TPC Scottsdale, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
The golf course has been radically changed in 2014, but it still hasn't lost its luster. Really, it's just been updated like the game itself for these young, strong players of the modern era.
Been some outstanding shot making to this point. Let's see what's happening now as we resume the action at the 7th. Frank, nothing spectacular to this point in the first round. What does the player need to do just to kind of generate some momentum?
I actually think they're playing all right, Rich. It's just, you compared to the top of the leaderboard, you start to think, well, maybe they're struggling. But there's ebbs and flows in this game. At the moment, it's just sort of almost like a holding pattern. But it's time to change that.
Well, it looks as though they're going to need to use all their strength to sort of hack it out of that rough, missing it off the tee here. Frank, better than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that looked like it was headed for that thick stuff the whole way, but a little fortunate. But then I guess you're allowed that in this game. If you hit enough shots, every now and again, one's going to go in.
Crazy, crazy game. Frank, the par 4 8th, this is a good hole.
It is. A dogleg to the left forces the player to go out the right, and this will play every inch of its yardage, which is over 470 yards. Green's still pretty much the same with that false front, unless there's a flag position in the front. You're really going to have to fly it at least 20 yards or so into that green. Otherwise, that ball is going to run towards the front. That's beyond long.
That is a sensational play right there, and you have to think that the little helping breeze gave that a nice boost.
He can't be that good.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. You can see why this player has been compared to a young Rory McIlroy, featured golfer making birdie and now sitting comfortably inside that cut line. Finishing out the front side now at the ninth. And Frank, what do you think of this par four?
Nice way to finish the front nine, Rich. Very thin green, protected by that little splash bunker in the front. Iron players get a real advantage here. One bunker down the right side to be aware of off the tee, though. I doubt anybody could carry that.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Settles for par, but probably needs birdies. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back. There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. No fairway here. This one in that rough. Good thing he stayed in the first cut, because just a couple of feet over, that rough is really deep. Not easy to control from that kind of a lie, is it, Frank?
No, obviously you could see in the back of his mind, don't go left. So it just depends how far right this is going to finish.
Early part of this back nine and a good approach shot. Now we'll have this for birdie. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt.
You'd like that one again.
Made a good run at birdie. He'll have to focus now. Try to walk away with the par. Nice par to remain at 2 under. On to the par 4 11th hole. Frank, what's the best play here?
No bunkers really here to worry about, Rich, so you have to pick something in the distance as a good line. Something a little bit away from the water that protects the left side of this fairway. And it's adjacent to the 15th hole, the other par 5 coming home. So a good drive, perhaps with a little bit of cut off the tee. And that should shape up nicely for this long par 4.
Ready for a second shot, trying to knock it on the green. Moving a little bit to the right. That's a beautiful shot, and that sets him up for a really easy putt. Not a gimme, but well within his range.
A few more birdies like that, Rich, you never know, just might sneak place on the podium.
In the top 10 right now. 12th hole now, looking at 192 yards, par 3.
Won't quite play that distance because that tee shot is considerably downhill. But you really have to be cognizant of the wind if it's coming off the left, because it easily brings that water into play down the right should that tee shot just start moving with the wind. This one starting down the right does not look like it's going to draw back towards the flag.
But it will catch the green. Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
Will make birdie if this drops.
In a very aggressive mode with that birdie now in second place.
So that concludes round 1. Frank, what's the mindset after this first day?
Well, the important thing is just try and play smart, get a feel for the golf course. That's what you try and do on the opening round. And now that the players have seen it, we should see some better scores tomorrow.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today it's live second-round coverage of the Arizona Summer Classic. Welcome to the Stadium Course, TPC Scottsdale in Arizona. It's a masterful blend of challenge and playability designed by the team of Tom Weisskopf and Jay Morrish. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports.
The changes, Rich, they made in 2014 have just added a luster to this great venue that hosts the PGA Tour event each and every year. And it's a great test for any level of play.
Here now at the par 3 fourth. Frank, what's the setup here?
Plays a little downhill, so it won't play its full 180 yards. Perhaps take one club off the decision off the tee. The green, as you can see now, is a little wider than what it was deep. The bunkering, though, is certainly excellent there. A little pop bunker on the right side, one there if you come up a little short, and there's another one on the left side should you pull your tee shot.
It should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. stuffed it in there really close, and now just a tap in. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. Racking him and stacking him right now. 6 under par for the tournament. Now to the 5th hole and a challenging par 4.
Slightly longer this year. Played off a new tee at the back, and there used to be 2 bunkers down the right side. They've now been put together to form one, and in the perfect position that really make you think about your tee shot. It takes a very big drive to try and carry that bunker on the right. It's going to be at least 315 plus yards to get past that. Green itself still tilts a little left to right and back towards the player.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green. All in all, Frank, doesn't look too bad.
Just maybe a little right of the flag.
Birdie try up next. Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
Looks primed right now.
Anything other than backing up. Very aggressive. That birdie now in second.
Ready to tee off now at the 6th. This is a dogleg left.
And another hole that's been stiffened by bunkers on both the left and the right side. Really giving you the decision on what club to hit. Should you be bold or should you be smart?
Excellent start off the tee. That's a great way to begin this hole. Chance to get it close here. Frank, mistake-free golf. You hope you can keep it together. Possibility of a very special round here.
Yeah, the only real thing to worry about is not to get too far ahead of yourself. At the moment, swing looks tremendous. And just keep the round ticking over, one hole at a time. I know it sounds like a cliche, but right now, he's exactly where he wants to be. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
No problems there. Really good approach shot. And now, good look at birdie. Made par yesterday. This one for birdie. Just slides by.
Yeah, can't afford to miss too many of those out here today.
Settles in over the putt. That's a solid par. Still in it, Frank. On to the par 3 7th, 215 yards from that back tee box, Frank.
This hole hasn't really changed. Still has that V-shaped green where it's very narrow in the front. A high-flying shot in here that carries that front edge, and you'll find the further and further you go back there, the more receptive and that green starts to widen.
Frank landed it on the green.
It was never going to stop.
No, no chance.
Second shot.
That was a nice birdie, and no doubt he's feeling pretty good about his position on this leaderboard.
A series of good holes in a row has got him to this point.
The Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the Arizona Summer Classic. Simply put, there is nothing like it in the game of golf. It is by far the biggest spectator event in the sport. We're at TPC Scottsdale in Scottsdale, Arizona. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside my friend and colleague Frank Nobilo. And Frank, what can you tell us about this golf course?
Well, everybody wants to know about 16, the famed par 3 here, surrounded by those skyboxes. Once again, that'll be a topic of the day. But really, this is a regular site for the PGA Tour. So those of you that were familiar with the golf course, it's now changed. 2014, the designers Morris and Weiskopf did a massive renovation.
Well over 100,000 fans every day, better than 500,000 for the week. It's a giant party mixed in with a heck of a tournament. Not a huge miss, Frank, but did lose this just a little to the right.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to catch a piece of the green, though.
That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look. This for another birdie on this hole on the week. Really starting to shine, moves to 10 under for the tournament. Frank, this is a demanding driving hole, the par 4 fifth.
Another hole that bends gently to the left. There used to be 2 bunkers down the right side. It's now 1, and it's in the perfect position to make you think about your tee shot. Really, you have to be left of that. The new tees added a little bit of yardage to it. The green still looks the same as what it once was. Tilts slightly from left to right. But you can see why a draw is the preferred shot at TPC Scottsdale. That's a ginormous tee shot.
Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. This is a good-looking shot. Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. So coming off the birdie on the previous hole, a chance now for yet another one.
And momentum all in his favor.
That was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
No, sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
These putts keep the round together.
Well, really, Rich, right now it's just a case of running out of holes. Pars are fine.
Now to the par 4 6th. Decision time, Frank. Driver, where do you go with 3-wood?
A lot of that's going to depend on if there's any breeze. If the breeze is at your back, you can drive it all the way down the right side and take those 2 bunkers down the right completely out of play. This hole's been stiffened up, though. The length hasn't increased, but that bunkering and that choke point. So, the strategy. Do you have the length to get past them? Or, if you have to lay up, it's going to leave a much longer second shot.
And now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. With that ball sitting up, you can bring it in high, you can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
That is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Birdie try again here today. Had a nice birdie on this hole yesterday. Pretty much doing everything right this week. 11 under for the tournament. Now to the second par 3 on the front 9. This is the 7th hole.
Yeah, quite a stiff par 3 because of the narrowness in the front. Really favoring a higher shot that's going to land softly, and therefore you can open up that green, because the further back you go, the wider it gets.
Frank, which way is this headed?
Well, judging by his body English, it looks like it's heading a little right. There is a bit of green out there, though.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt.
Great, too.
Beautiful. This is a good hole, Frank, the par 4 8th.
Yet another dogleg left, Rich, on the front side. And it's a sharper dogleg now because they've put in 2 bunkers down the left side. It used to be a bailout area for the players in the past. You can't do that anymore. And I doubt anybody can fly it over that left one. It's nearly 330 yards to carry that in the air. Those 2 bunkers have forced the players to go out to the right, making that second shot a little bit longer now.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are, because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Good swing, good shot yet again. What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
That incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
So the dominant performance continues.
Yeah, we're watching 2 tournaments right now, the one at the top and the rest.
Here at the par 4 9th hole, Frank, what's the strategy off the tee?
Well, there's one bunker down the right side that you have to be very wary of. 325 yards to carry that, so it's very much in play, and just over 290 to reach it. Ideally, you have to go left about that down the left side. But really, this is a second shot hole because this green is not very deep.
It's nice to roll in a 25-footer now and then. Those feel good. But still, there's nothing like hitting that perfect tee ball. Long and straight.
Yeah, you can puff out your chest, last to play, the advantage, holes shorter. Basically, the list goes on.
Making it look easy at this point. Another beautiful approach shot. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie.
Great sense of speed in that. You know you can make those, but that one right in the middle.
And that wraps up the 3rd round. Just one more to go before we crown our champion.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm looking at my crystal ball, Rich, but that champion that we see tomorrow might be the one just sitting at the leaderboard on top of it right now.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the Arizona Summer Classic. Here at the TPC Scottsdale in Arizona, and Frank, when so many people tune in to watch this great event, they think immediately of the 16th hole, with all of those fans jammed in. It's like Fenway Park inside the desert there. But it's much more than that little par 3, isn't it?
It certainly is more than that, Rich. The TPC Scottsdale is a great venue for a PGA Tour event. It's a blend of everything. Birdie opportunities, holes that are fraught by water, bunkering that's been changed. All in all, it's a great atmosphere with nearly 500,000 people that visit this during the tournament week.
Knew it right away. Picked up the tee, didn't even look at it. We can see it. It's perfect, right down the middle of the fairway. Frankie could make eagle right here with a really good approach shot.
Yeah, well within his reach too. And Rich, if we just sit back and relax here, I think we're going to see perhaps a very good look at eagle coming up. Oh, this is right at it.
Well, couldn't have done much better than that, and the eagle is looking very likely now. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Just dominated this hole, and he ends up with an eagle. Par 4 14, Frank, it seems as though you'd be pretty happy with a par here.
You would, even though the putting surfaces here at TPC Scottsdale are excellent. It's going to take 2 good shots to reach this 14th hole. You can get in a little bit of trouble off the tee. That bunker on the left very much in play. The rough on the right side is no snack either, because the ball, more often than not, will finish well above the player's feet. And of course, that green is very, very narrow, well protected by bunkers on the left.
Always makes the hole easier, playing it from the fairway. Settles in, looking to knock it in tight. Frank, even at major championships, a good crowd on a single day might be 25 to 30,000. Consider this for just a moment. At the TPC Scottsdale in 2013, round number 3 on Saturday, almost 180,000 fans jammed into that ballpark.
It's hard to imagine that's twice the gate of the Super Bowl on a golf course. Now, obviously, some of it's hidden because of the size of the acreage, but golf just doesn't get that type of crowds anywhere else in the world. But it works at TPC Scottsdale. They have a crowd that keeps going back. They have the Bird's Nest, for example, that goes there. The parties that ring around it. It's an atmosphere that golf never gets anywhere else, but it really works here. The players feel it too. They breathe it. And this is 1 week of the year, just 1 week, where they do feel like superstars.
It's a mix of soft spikes and stiletto heels. There's nothing quite like the TPC Scottsdale. Boy, this one has a chance to be really good. Good contact, good result. Frank, you played in conditions all over the world. Here come the winds now. What's the mindset?
Well, this is really what separates the men from the boys. This is where you've got to tell yourself, and it's an advantage to you. Obviously, the scores will go up a little bit, given the conditions. But once again, this is going to suit the stronger player today.
You like the old phrase, swing easy when it's breezy?
Definitely when you're hitting it into a head breeze. But if down breeze, tee it up a little bit, try and ride that wind some more. This looks like it's going to find the target.
That was just a gutsy shot right there, and a good look at eagle coming up.
It's no snap, though.
In the words of the legendary basketball announcer Marv Albert, home way downtown, yes! Well, partner, here we go. Players have characterized it as terrifying, chaotic, amazing. The stadium atmosphere here at this hole, the 16th of par 3, is really spectacular, isn't it, Frank?
It is. Because of the atmosphere, the number of people, this is the closest a golfer gets to like kicking a field goal in a Super Bowl, because it's just surrounded by people. It's not really the difficulty of the hole. Just over 160 yards, a modest par 3. There's no water in trouble. But it's an atmosphere that golfers never normally are familiar with.
That one inside of 10 feet, really dialed in. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Hard putt, soft hands, beautiful putt. Now to the 17th, and Frank, fair to say this is one of the best short par 4s in all of golf?
It is. The drivable par 4 that's designed the way it's meant to be played is a winner. The ones that are just shortened to be made drivable, they don't work. This was designed to be a 17th hole, and it was designed to be drivable. You couldn't get a better place, and you couldn't get a better par 4.
Well, too bad, Frank. That one rolled right off the green.
It was just coming out so hot.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. On the green and looking at a birdie opportunity. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. And what a day it's been. To the 18th hole now, and Frank, the original designers stepped in and they made this hole quite a bit more challenging.
Yeah, they certainly have stiffened it up. The longest hitters in the game, the Dustin Johnsons, the Bubba Watsons, the J.B. Holmes, used to take it completely over the lake down the left side where there was just one paltry bunker. Now there's a series of bunkers, almost like the church pews at Oakmont, that are littered down the left side, stopping that attack. You're going to have to respect this hole that much more off the tee. Find the fairway. It's still a short iron in, but this finishing hole is now a proper finishing hole.
Good-looking shot right here. Great way to finish off the final approach shot with a birdie opportunity. 11 feet away. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. What a great tournament finish. This one is in the books, and look who finished on top of the leaderboard.
Rich, this has to go down as a classic. Our champion was simply on fire. And I'm looking forward now to see how next week pans out.